Call this meeting to order. We are here to have some discussion on the use of office space by the Grants Administration and Fire Mitigation folks. And let's see, Tracy, do you want to start us on this discussion?
Yeah, I'll start off. We had some conversation briefly about the conditions of the rental space and how much you actually use it. And so we were kind of brainstorming, is it feasible to pay the rent, the utilities and whatnot there, and then rather than have you guys work at home, which you'd probably do the majority of the time anyway.
For me, it's probably, well, usually if I'm down on that end of the valley, and it's close to time to be done for the day, I'll go home, work from there, which is the majority of the time.
And I realize you'd need some space for your files and whatnot, which I think we can accommodate here at the courthouse.
Yeah, I've still got the files from when this program started in my office.
So how many file cabinets worth of files do you probably have?
Three stand-up 4 doors and the boxes.
So we're probably looking at a couple, 2 to 3 filing cabinets.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them you probably don't, they're just files that are kept from when you start. You don't access them regularly, right? So we have, I know for a fact down in the basement there'll be empty file cabinets that could be marked fire mitigation for
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing,
record's sake.
I don't think there's anything that is in these files that would be like personal information on contractors or anything.
It's kind of the history of the,
just the history and the projects and who did what. And, all the personal stuff I've kept locked up in my file cabinet. And so I'll keep it locked up in there as long as I'm doing this job.
well, what's your guys' opinion of the space and saving some of that money that is being paid out to the rent and utilities? And
I work predominantly from home. It's an efficient space for me to do it, and then I come in here when I need to do that. And everything I have is online, so I don't need file cabinets. And I'm just given that space for meeting. It actually is more. It's all paid for out of fire mitigation, so I don't have anything coming out of my funds. So working from home works for me because then there's not an additional cost of. If there was a need for another space, if you guys would like to see me in another space rather than just taking up your conference room and I need to, that would be an expense I would have to account for, but I'm good with that. The only thing I would request is, it's not a place that I meet in a professional atmosphere. There's some accessibility issues and some other concerns that I have. And so predominantly I've just met people in here when I needed to. But I do have the phone number that goes there that has been what's been used for people to contact me by phone. So that one I would explore, ask for the opportunity to explore getting a number through the current county system. And how that would work to transfer that to.
so the current one does that one automatically transfer to you now? No,
it's
it
a
doesn't.
landline.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to explore a county phone number that could be forwarded to yourself.
So she could distinguish the business calls versus the personal.
Like anybody that tries to call me, they call myself. I think even on the county site, it has my cell phone as the contact number, so it doesn't have. The only people that have called me on that phone in the last year are like the guys from the state of Idaho. I sent out an email. Don't contact me at that number anymore. They'll call my cell phone.
Okay.
So phones aren't an issue. So it sounds like you both are okay with the idea of working not from that office.
How much are we spending per month on that office?
The rent is $400 a month, and the internet, and those would be the two. There is an ADL telecom, which I think, I would have to double check, I think that's the
There-
MyTel fee. So that would stay the same because it would take care of one of the phone numbers. But the internet, the Ziply is the last one is $148.85. So, 150 a month in internet and 400 a month in rental space.
So $6,000 a year in savings. Okay, I like that part. Any thoughts or discussion?
We'll probably need to discuss a process if we need to give a notice.
I think
For-
it's 30
30
Yes,
day.
30-day notice. So you probably have to give them notice like at the end of November, we've got the end of December. That's taken over the first of the year.
Yeah.
Was it a lease? Was it a year lease or was it month to month?
It's month to month. Yeah.
And the rumor is they were talking about raising the rate again at the beginning of this next year. So
Okay.
Okay,
And it did jump up from,
It used to be 200, wasn't it?
for the September, I believe it was September rent, was $275, and in October, or somewhere in there, it was $275, and then it jumped up to $400.
so you think it'd be feasible to be out by the end of this year, this calendar year?
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, 6 weeks to get all your furnishings and artwork and statuary and everything.
All the gorgeous decor we've got in there.
Okay.
My spiffy $2.99 clock.
And so who would be the appropriate person to contact the landlord? Us?
Did you set it up? Or I don't know how long they've been there. I would think the commissioners would.
It's,
We could send them a letter that our fire
I think
mitigation.
it was set up back in like 2007.
I think it's whenever Bonnie and the other guy were still doing it. So I don't know who.
They've been there a long time.
Okay. Would you be willing to initiate the letter?
Mhm.
Okay, on behalf of the board. Are you okay with that? With the idea of moving forward with letting them, any thoughts on the process?
No, I think it would save money. I do.
Mhm.
And if you guys aren't using it, there's no point in spending money on something that we're not using.
Okay. Well then, at this point, I would entertain a motion that we direct Commissioner Cassidy to send a letter letting them know that we'd be all finished with the building by the end of December.
So,
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, you've been officially made homeless.
If there's anything we can accommodate here that you think of that we haven't discussed, then just come to us. And
Are you willing to pursue the phone number thing?
yes.
Okay.
we want to make sure you still operate efficiently and whatnot. So
Do we have any
There's-
public comment on this topic today?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Any other thing else from you guys? We kicked you out in the middle of winter, like every,
Happy New Year to us.
yeah. Okay. Well, with that, then, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, with that, we are adjourned.